And very pleased to be joined now by the head coach of the Nittany Lions, James Franklin. Coach, it's a year of change here for you guys. You have two new coordinators. Let's focus on the offense. Joe Moorhead bringing in kind of an up-tempo spread. What made you decide you wanted to change your scheme here?
Well, a couple things. I think it's going to take some of the pressure off of our offensive line. It's still developing, and we've seen that already happen, during camp so long. I've been following Joe for a number of years. I saw him at a Nike football clinic in Pittsburgh, was impressed with him, started tracking him from that point on. Statistically, the last couple of years, put up great numbers, but really just came down to a good fit for us. Scheme-wise, I thought it was the right thing for us to do, to take advantage of the depth that we have at wide receiver, the mobility we have at quarterback, what we have at running back, and then still an evolving offensive line that I feel good about, but it takes some of the pressure off those guys.
You're used to seeing your team with a full complement of offensive linemen. It took us back a little bit. How would you describe, how's the best way to describe their progress since you've been here, the group offensive line?
Yeah, it's probably similar to our team. I think I mentioned these guys before. Right now, we're able to practice. The ones go out and really have a good competitive practice. In the past, after that, the twos would go in and the practice would change significantly. Now the twos go out, now the threes go out. So we're able to have a really competitive practice for 2 hours, which is different. The O-line is similar. We went from having a group of ones that we felt good about, but that we're still growing. Now we have a legitimate 2 deep, and we have a legitimate 3 deep in some spots. So that's really helped us. You just look at it. We have 17 scholarship linemen. I think when we got here, we had 5 guys over 300 pounds. Now we have like 12 guys over 300 pounds. And Coach Limegrover, as you guys know, being a Big Ten guy, has done a great job for us. Another great fit from Pennsylvania. All those things are important.
Quarterbacks always have to be able to make plays in this style of offense. How involved will they be in the run game?
I think they have to be. You look at college football now. It's funny. You used to say prototype quarterbacks. That's even changed in the NFL. Everybody's using mobile quarterbacks. So, yeah, we want to be able to do that. We want to be able to get them involved, whether they're true quarterback called runs, which we'll do a little bit of, not a whole lot, but then there'll be a lot of RPOs. We'll do a lot of RPOs, which is great because now your offensive line, you're always running into good looks. They overload the box, you're throwing a free access throw on the edge, or you're putting someone in conflict, an outside linebacker, a safety, even sometimes a corner. So those things are going to be really helpful.
I'm going to ask you a question. I know you haven't been asked at all here in the preseason. What's the latest on the quarterback battle?
Shocker.
It's good journalism right there.
You know what, though? It's an ideal situation in terms of, it's not the ultimate situation. The ultimate situation is you never have to get a new quarterback. You have the same quarterback for 20 years, but that doesn't happen. But my point is, if you're going to start a new quarterback, you'd love to start him with veteran receivers, with talent in the backfield, with talent at tight end, and a developing offensive line. So that helps. It's a battle. I think the spring game kind of gave everybody a skewed perception. You had Trace with the ones, Tommy with the twos going against the one defense, and they battle. Trace really had a strong spring. There was a gap. I think Tommy has closed that gap a little bit, but it's still really, really competitive. And this isn't one of those deals where we know what we're doing as coaches and we're not letting the rest of the world know. It's a true competition still going on.
Ideally, in your mind, when do you want to make a decision?
When the season ended last year. But really, you'd love to know probably by this point next week. Okay. You'd love to kind of have a guy solidified and start moving forward. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, we got to make sure we get the right guy. And if that takes a week and a half, that takes 2 weeks, whatever it takes, we're going to do.
Coach, I know you're excited about your new digs, new locker room, new academics. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think you guys know. You guys go all over the country. You got great perspective. Our bones and the size of our structure has always been unbelievable. We had to update some things. The locker room is impressive. We want to make sure that we're doing a great job of holding on to the history and traditions, which we're so proud of here, but also doing some things that, these juniors and these seniors in high school can relate to. And our locker room does that. It's a classic way, but it's also up to date. We were able to get new turf in the indoor, which you guys were able to see. I think is going to be helpful for us. So we're just taking it project by project, but it's been very, very positive for us.
All right, James Franklin, head coach of the Nittany Lions. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Guys, thank you very much.